Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film Chico and Rita. Chico and Rita is about two characters, Chico, who is a jazz piano player, and Rita, who is an amazing singer. And they come together and have kind of a turbulent love relationship and also work together and make some beautiful music. Their respective careers separate them, and she goes to New York and he tries to make it in New York, then he has to go back to Cuba. It kind of shows both the history of Cuban music, to my understanding, because I don't really know, and how that evolved with their relationship and how turbulent their love really was. The color in this film is really striking. Immediately when this movie started, I was just taken aback by how vibrant and beautiful the color was. I just love the color in this. The character designs, at first I really didn't like the character designs, but they really grew on me, and by the end of the film I really enjoyed the character designs. The way they move, it's not as fluid. The movement's a little odd, I guess, for me sometimes. You get used to it. By the end, it wasn't really bothering me at all. This movie has a lot of fun and life to it. It's a lot about jazz and Cuban music. And there's appearances by a lot of jazz musicians. They will have their music playing, and they have animated character who looks like them. Chico Valdez, Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, Chano Pazzo, Tito Puente, Ben Webster, and Thelonious Monk, who you really have to catch them because they don't mention. Dizzy Gillespie, they mentioned. They have a whole segment with Chanco Pazzo, which was really cool. All the music in this film is so great, and it gives the film such energy to it. How much life and spirit it gave the film. You have this music coming out of Havana, and you have these musicians working there, but showing them how a lot of Cuban musicians came to New York, even up until the Buena Vista Social Club kind of thing at the Grammys. Follows the music, and I like that. And the score by Bibo Valdez, he does a really great job just getting everything to work and sound like the time period. It was one of my more favorite scores of last year, this film. Chico and Rita's relationship is so volatile. It almost feels like a silent film love affair in a lot of ways, just like they meet at the beginning and they have this great love, but circumstances separate them for all this time and they just simply can't get together for whatever reason. I've seen a lot of biopics recently, just because it's kind of Oscar season and TCM plays a lot of biopics, and a lot of biopics are really bland. It's just we start here, we end here, and there's not very much creativity to it. These aren't real people. That's one thing, so you can have a little more fun. The history in this film is almost another character as well. You have Chico, Rita, and really the history of Cuban music, or Cuban jazz. Is just it's very interesting to me that they combined all that together. It's animated, but I don't think it's your typical big animated movie. It's taking the idea that could be just a nice romantic kind of classic traditional Hollywood movie, and definitely sprucing it up a lot with this vibrant color and this odd character design and this Cuban music. I find the storytelling really strong. It's not just how this movie does a biopic. That's not the only reason I like this movie. The classic storytelling in this, certainly a lot of this film is how it did it, but it's also that at the backbone of it, it's just a really well-constructed screenplay. I wasn't too crazy about all the dialogue, but a lot of this year has been looking back with nostalgia. But this is the kind of movie I think I like that talks about nostalgia, that really gets into the history of something and is really telling a certain story, because it's hard with a life story. You're using a lot of broad strokes, and sometimes that doesn't work out so well. It comes off a little cheesy. You're trying to say too much with the scene. And this film, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like they're really going in there for fine detail, to really show this period. I mean, certainly covering so much, but it feels like it's really getting into all these bigger things that it's just touching upon. It's really getting the mood of the time, or at least for me. I wasn't around. I'm not really a music scholar, so I might be completely off, but that's how this film made me feel. And you kind of fall in love with both Rita and Chico and the music and the whole attitude of the movie, and even the animation style. I mean, this really, any apprehensions you have at the beginning of this film really wash away because of it's such a well-told story, and all these vibrant colors and the music and the animation. It's really a great entertaining film, and in the classic Hollywood sense, but animated and with great music. So if you have seen Chico and Rita and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to.